Can Juventus respond to Napoli and Inter? The defending champions lead has been cut to just 3 points at the top of Serie A. Cagliari tonight at a packed-out Allianz Stadium. The pressure is on under the lights in Turin this Saturday night. Terrific noise, always special here. The rain is falling in Turin as O Generoso rings around this fabulous stadium. Cristiano Ronaldo at the end of the Juve line. Slow start in Italy, but he's really found his feet in recent times. Got his first wonder goal, if you like, last time out at Empoli. Juve weren't at their best there. They weren't at their best here last time out against Genoa when they dropped points. Max Allegri has warned them against complacency tonight. What a bench. Most of those players would start for almost every other team in European football, as would that man, Cristiano Ronaldo. Maurizio Mariani's in charge tonight. 2 years ago, he took charge of this fixture here. Juve won by 4-0. They'll hope that is a good omen. A formidable outfit, a winning machine. And this is their lineup. 3 changes from their win at Empoli. Cancelo, Benatia and Douglas Costa come in. The Brazilian makes his first start since the opening day. Sami Khedira returns to the bench. Chiellini only fit enough for the substitute bench for Juve tonight. Andrea Agnelli. And his star man Cristiano Ronaldo. And after he scored his 400th goal the other week, Cristiano Ronaldo gets a memento from the main man at Juve, upstairs if you like. He's the main man on the pitch. All smiles for him and his family. This is the Cagliari team unchanged after beating Chievo at home last weekend. Pavoletti up front, 3 goals in his last 3 games. And Nico Barella, a rising star of Italian football. A big night for him to perform here, and he really will be making a name for himself. Keeping dry in the stands, Rolando Maran took over in the summer. He's done a good job at Cagliari. He's demanded that his side win this evening. They normally do at home. Juventus against Cagliari, Saturday night Serie A football. Win and the defending champions will be 6 points clear at the top once again. A very early touch for De Silio. Plays again. Benatia to Bonucci. Now João Cancelo. Douglas Costa gets his first touch. It's been raining pretty heavily in Turin today. And there is noise from the Curva Sud. Bentancur. Here's Dybala. Inside a minute. Onto that left foot. Oh, Dybala! Juve's golden boy scores inside a minute. Devastating.
There's a big slice of good fortune in this finish. I think he slips and Probably ends up kicking it against his standing foot, but the skill to work the space in the first instance is brilliant. It's a poor ball out from Pisacane. It's a giveaway. Bentancur seizes on it. Great skill, little turn there to get away from the defender, and then he loses his footing, kicks it against his standing foot, and it just wrong foots Alessio Cragno in the Cagliari goal. Very close to being offside. Again, slice of good fortune, isn't there? Still, Dybala will take that, and so will Juventus. What a start for them.
Just his second Serie A goal of the season. He's already got 4 in the Champions League. Referee here, I think he's just checking the offside.
It can only be the offside. There wasn't anything else wrong, was there? And it is literally going to be his toe would have been offside. Very tight decision.
Dybala watches on. He has no idea whether he was onside or offside, probably. We have the technology. There'll be no more argument whether it was right or wrong as the game goes on either.
So close, isn't it? Very difficult to disallow a goal, I think, when it's that close.
Maurizio Nariani, like everybody else, waits for the instruction. Now the grand old warrior watches on.
Tension builds, doesn't it, in the stadium? The longer it goes.
And the tighter it is, the longer it does go. Cagliari hoping for some intervention here.
Pisacane, I'd imagine, especially after giving the ball away so cheaply.
Otherwise, the whole game plan's out the window inside 50 seconds.
It becomes very difficult to go 1-0 down so early to this Juventus team. Rolando Moran, you'd imagine would have sent his team out to try and keep it tight for as long as they can and stay in the game. They're not the sort of side that can just open up and attack teams. Here's the goal again. Pisacane, it's a poor ball. It really is a poor giveaway. There's the ball in from Bentancur. Great turn. 2 defenders, wrong-footed. Then the slice of luck. He slips and still finds a finish. He's onside by the looks of it.
Goal given. Juve lead. On the last time game they led against Genoa. None like them's really switched off at the back. Bonucci was one of those who was guilty of it. Max Allegri was furious, giving the ball away here. He was still furious even at Old Trafford after his team had won in the post-match press conference. So I'd be surprised if Juve let Cagliari off the hook like they did Genoa, but we shall see.
Just didn't push on and get the second goal, did they? Against Genoa, they were a little bit lackadaisical, really. They took it easy, just kept possession, didn't really go out and try and win the game. You just feel that if they can get a second goal early here and just put the game to bed, then it could be a long night for Cagliari.
Here's Padoan. It's a decent ball in. And Pavoletti got something on it. And it's a corner. And this is where Cagliari are dangerous.
Absolutely, he gets across the front, doesn't he, Pavoletti? Tries a cute little flick. Comes off of Bonucci. Pavoletti so strong in the air, attacks it really well.
João Pedro over this set piece. Fast start in Turin. This will be a real test. João Pedro. Headed away. And then Pjanic. Clever pass for Ronaldo. Here's Douglas Costa. Juve front 3 working in tandem. Douglas Costa. Oh, it was towards Dybala, who I think was trying to pick out Matuidi instead of going for goal. João Cancelo. Douglas Costa. Now João Cancelo. Acres of space. You can only pick out Alessio Cragno. Cagliari continue to defend like this, they could be in for a thumping.
Yeah, I think we saw how Juventus may be going to try and deal with those corners. Cagliari put a lot of players in the box, but they left Douglas Costa and Dybala up front trying to hit teams on the counter-attack very quickly and see how many players they keep back.
Dybala gets his toe in. You know, start of the season, Juve were winning, but Dybala was left out of the starting 11 a couple of times. Everyone wondered how Allegri was going to fit him and Ronaldo and Mandzukic, etc. into the same team. He's bang at it now, as is this man, Ronaldo. Headed away by Filip Bradovic. Yeah, wobbling though.
They're under pressure, aren't they? Every time Juventus go forward. This is the goal again. Wonderful turn here, sends two players. Gets some good fortune with the finish. But brilliant skill from Dybala.
He's going to take the corner to Pjanic. Oh, it's a free header for Blaise Matuidi. And that could have been two.
Should have been, really. Tweedy gets a good head on it. He's just trying to glance it, use the pace on the ball and just guide it on target. Can't quite get enough on it. There's the skill again from Dybala. Change of direction. You mentioned earlier it's been raining heavily before this game, and so that's the advantage for the attackers in that sort of situation. You know, if you change direction quickly, it's very difficult to change your feet as a defender.
Was looking for João Pedro. Bonucci loses his footing. Very, very opening 8 minutes or so. Cagliari 4 tonight. No one have been involved in less goals in terms of their games. They've only scored 9 and conceded 11. Very rarely beaten heavily, very rarely win too convincingly as well. A very different opening 8 minutes. Benatia, now De Chilio. Shouldn't imagine those two will be starting here in midweek against Manchester United. Such is their strength that they are important squad members for Juve. Cancelo. He's made such a good start to life at Juventus. Absolute nightmare. I mean, as a former defender, how do you stop someone like João Cancelo when he's going forward?
It's very difficult when they come from that deep, and he's always coming on the ball. He carries it so well at such pace. Very difficult to play against.
Benatia felt something from Pavoletti then. Get in touch on Twitter at 11sports_UK. The goal will be up there soon if you want to watch a replay of it. Now here is Barella, his first opportunity to impress. Benatia swept it away. Dybala is felled.
Just into the back of him there, Pisacane, too eager to win the ball. What do you think, Chris, about Dybala being captain? Are you a little surprised that he's captain? I certainly was.
Yeah. I guess you look around, Bonucci would be a candidate, but given what happened with Milan, I just wonder, and Max Allegri knows his players better than anyone, if he looked at Dybala and he thought he's one of those guys that if he wears the captain's armband, it really might galvanise him. Certainly worked, doesn't it? Here's Ronaldo. Ronaldo goes for goal. Pjanic picks it up. Bentancur to the aforementioned Dybala. And Douglas Costa. Decent hit. Cranio elected to punch. It's just coming back at Cagliari at the moment. That's good though. Matuidi is dispossessed. Now Lucas Castro, who scored a wonderful goal from distance last week against Chievo. He's tripped there by De Chilio.
It looked a foul, didn't it? Certainly.
Not got it. Said it's with Dybala. Absolutely flown by the opening 11 minutes.
It's a very open game, isn't it, end to end?
Forward they come once more, Juve. Ronaldo. Douglas Costa points to João Cancelo. Oh, what a ball. not quite kept in play. Ronaldo thumbs up though. Great thinking from the Brazilian.
Oh, it's brilliant, wasn't it? Outside of his left, but uses the run of Cancelo just to buy him a little bit more time and space. That's going to be important when Douglas Costa's playing on that right-hand side. The fact that Cancelo can come outside him and just drag defenders away and open up that opportunity to bend it towards that far corner.
Big night for Douglas Costa. Hasn't started, as I mentioned, since the win at Chievo on the opening day. Sent off against Sassuolo. Very ugly incident. And with so many options at Max Allegri's disposal, he needs to impress when he's given a chance.
I think it's the same with every Juventus player. You know, it's a clear foul by João Pedro there in the back of Mehdi Benatia, but every Juventus player knows that the competition in this squad is so fierce that you need to go out there and perform every time you get an opportunity.
Here is Douglas Costa. He has started very well indeed, and he's picked out Ronaldo. This spells danger for Cagliari. Chilio. All is cleared. Long by Dario Shona. He was hoping to play up against Mario Mandzukic tonight. Two Croatians, great friends. Leonardo Bonucci fires that ball into Douglas Costa, and passing range of Bonucci's, as well as being an outstanding centre-back, it's another wonderful attribute he has.
Absolute top player.
There's another ball into Dybala. Sorry, that was Dybala, it was Bentancur originally. Two of the South American contingent here at Juve. A bit of a breather for Cagliari. Alessio Cranio and his team need it. Would have expected the early onslaught. So disappointed to have conceded so early.
Lots of experience in their lineup though. You'd expect this team to just be able to see these tough times through and maybe just hang on in the game a little bit like Genoa did a couple of weeks ago. And then see if maybe they can find an opening as this game progresses.
And Schöner once drew here with Shakhtar in the Champions League. It's controlled by Barella. Douglas Costa. Dybala. It's a very experienced side. Pretty old backline as well, you mentioned.
Absolutely, I mean, the average age of around 33, the backline.
Look for Matuidi. Fizz that ball, did Paulo Dybala.
Foul there, isn't there, by Benatia, trying to go tight. João Pedro wins it more than anything, but very experienced back four. You just wonder how their legs will be as this game goes on. They're going to be put under immense pressure and asked a lot of questions.
Barella just nudges it on. Very impressive in his full Italy debut last month. Linked with Juve and Inter in today's Italian press. Talk of a bidding war. Plenty of others, including Arsenal, have been linked with this man. Extremely talented. Can make things tick for Cagliari, and they've worked a nice opening. Schöner can deliver, has delivered balls from fullback throughout his career. Didn't see much of him last season. Costa picks up the pieces. Schöner had a doping ban. What a pass that is for Ronaldo, who becomes the latest player to lose his footing.
See, as they're running with the ball, the water just zipping up off the turf. It's really wet underfoot. be surprised how many players will probably still have moulded boots on. Studs have kind of gone out of fashion.
The kit man might be busy back in the dressing room. Been some terrible weather in Italy for the last couple of weeks or so. Some very, very wet games. It's a good-looking ball. Now they want handball here. João Pedro's convinced.
I just wonder whether it hit Benatia's head and then went onto his arm rather than anything else.
João Pedro stopped playing there. Maran watches on.
He'd headed it onto his own hand. I don't think you can give that as handball. Be very harsh. Was it going straight to João Pedro? You could argue, couldn't you, maybe?
The Moroccan maybe just sitting too comfortably. Ronaldo gets involved as we watch that little slip from him.
Beautiful first touch, wasn't it? Just trying the little chop inside. I think actually Pisacani had read it really well.
I love the look at the turf there from Ronaldo. Now referee is going to go and have a look at this. Well, drama in Turin.
It certainly hits him on the hand. For me, I don't see how it can be deliberate handball if you head it against your own hand. It shouldn't be a penalty in my opinion, but we've seen so many that I think shouldn't be given, have been given.
We see very few when the referee goes over that he sticks with his original decision as well. It's almost like going to VAR, we think it's, you know, you could see in the background, the Cagliari fans cheered as soon as it went to that.
I think with this one, I don't think he saw it in open play.
Is this a penalty?
No, it's a corner. I think they've got it right. I don't think he saw it in open play. It happened so quickly, and he just needed to have a look.
Dario Schöner will take the set piece. Cagliari is still arguing about it. We have seen a VAR controversy today already with Roma, who conceded a very soft penalty. Having looked at it, the referee agreed with his original call. Schöner, great ball! What a save from Szczesny! Pavoletti denied somehow.
Not sure Wojciech Szczesny knew too much about it. It was a wonderful save.
Anyone who thought this game was over after that early Juve goal, I think again, just at the moment anyway. It's Paduin. 5 seasons at Juve and 5 titles. Mostly played off the bench in fairness, but it's Bonucci who sweeps away. Bradaric wrestles with Matuidi, free kick goes the way of Juventus.
There's Pavoletti. He must have thought he'd scored here. Possible offside from Dario Schöner, just whips the ball in, gets across the front of Bonucci, hits it on the volley, and it just hits Szczesny. He's in the right place at the right time for Juventus.
It's the luck of the draw, isn't it? Dybala slips and it goes in. Pavoletti catches it perfectly and Szczesny gets something on it. Fine margins. Fine response from Cagliari, really. It's Ronaldo. Goes out of play. If you're Pavoletti and Cagliari, you know, Juve have a great squad, but when you don't see Chiellini and Bonucci together, in that dressing room, there must be part of you that thinks, OK, can get a Juve here.
I think Chiellini particularly is the one that holds that defence together. He's the leader, he's the captain week in, week out now, isn't he? And he's for me, the best out-and-out defender in world football. And when he's missing, and you, like as you say, Benatia playing alongside Bonucci tonight, Rugani's played the last a few games, played last time at Empoli. It's just a lack of understanding between them. There's not that instant partnership that you've got with Bonucci and Chiellini that's got so much experience. They know exactly where each other should be and where they're going to be.
It doesn't impact Chiellini, but maybe impacts Bonucci slightly as well. There's De Sciglio, another of those who probably wouldn't be in Juve's first choice back four, definitely wouldn't.
It's interesting interesting that De Chilio's playing tonight at left back when they got Spinazzola back from injury on the bench. You'd have thought they might have been able to get him some game time.
A bit more defending to do here. Now Barzali's going to warm up. Dario Schöner swing this in. Pavoletti rose and it in the end just hits Lucas Castro. Nicola Barella. Just wonder if Max Allegri's pondering a change. Maybe Barzali is just going to warm up. It's a chilly night, it's a wet night.
You'll often find the sports scientists will get them out at periods in the game, maybe 20 minutes in, they send all the subs out for a warm-up just to make sure they're ticking over.
Douglas Costa on to João Cancelo. Motors on. Comes back to Bentancur. It's a dangerous ball. Barella helps it on. Now João Pedro. Max Allegri's been pretty vocal in the last few weeks about wanting a complete 90-minute performance from Juve. Didn't get it at Empoli, didn't get it at Genoa. Wasn't that happy after the Man United win even. And I think the way that his team have played since going 1-0 up might not have particularly pleased him as well, as Barella fouls Bentancur there.
Yeah, it was a foul. Nothing too much in it. I think you're right. They haven't been able to put together a 90 minutes where they've dominated the game completely. They haven't been able to put sides away. And I think that's been the problem. They're allowing sides to stay in games, and it just makes it nervy as the game goes on. They're giving chances away that maybe over the last few seasons they wouldn't have given away.
So far they've got away with it in most games, if you like, but another misplaced pass. João Pedro helps it on to Lucas Castro. Going to take on the effort here. Hits the defender. Junitzer was a long way out, but no one closed him down.
Wojciech Szczesny really urging João Cancelo to do better there, trying to G him up. He started poorly. It's as poor as I've seen him in a Juventus shirt. He's been excellent the first 10 games of the season, but just been a little bit off tonight. They've given the ball away cheaply.
João Pedro with another Cagliari corner. Headed away by Bentancur. Schöner. Now Barella. Looking to work the angle to get the cross in. That was better defending from Juve.
I think Dario Schöner missed an opportunity when that first came out, and just to put that ball back in the box. Juventus have defended the crosses well so far, but you have to keep putting it in there.
There aren't many more physical in terms of attacking teams in Serie A than Cagliari. Here is Douglas Costa though, keeping the door shut at the other end. It's going to be as big a test as scoring for Cagliari tonight. Ball stays in play. Benatia. One area they haven't been able to rotate is central midfield. Pjanic, Matuidi and Bentancur. That's why they'll be pleased to have Khedira back on the bench tonight. Still no Emre Can. Pjanic again. Work the pass, or work the possibility of it. Couldn't connect with Dybala.
Let's see, fighting to get on the ball there. Melee in that penalty area. There's the beautifully outside of the right foot pass by João Cancelo into the path of Douglas Costa.
Well, he really shone at Old Trafford. João Cancelo in the Champions League, and we've seen him on 11 Sports all season doing that, particularly going forward for Juve. It's Lucas Castro bundled to the floor. Again, the referee says no foul. Chilio gives João Cancelo a test, definitely. Cagliari closed down well.
Played well, Cagliari, haven't they? Went goal down early on. Looked as though they might fold under the pressure, but they've responded well. They're very much in the game now.
I guess the one good thing about being an underdog is, in the back of your mind, if you expect to go 1-0 down, you might then know how to deal with it. Another misplaced pass from Juve.
They're certainly used to coming to this stadium and losing, that's for sure.
As many are in Serie A. That game against Genoa, in many ways, was pretty extraordinary. The fact that Juve were 1-0 up and didn't win. Second time they've dropped points in the league this year. The other was that loss against Napoli at the back end of last season. And remember, in 7 years since this stadium opened, Juve have lost 5 league games. That is what you're up against in Italy when you come to Turin, or to this part of Turin anyway, as Ronaldo can't keep the ball in play.
It's a fantastic, it's such a fortress, isn't it? So difficult to get 3 points here.
Took a bit of a gamble there. It's precisely why you don't want to give Juve the lead inside 60 seconds, even if there was a bit of misfortune about it. Worked themselves into the game though, and Leonardo Pavoletti is fouled there.
Played out really well there, actually, didn't they? You know, they were confident, played between the lines, trusted each other in possession.
Having a decent season, only just survived last campaign. Nice blend of youth and experience. And they play 3 really forward-thinking players as well. So composed, João Cancelo. Portuguese fullback gets it back. Bonucci. Cagliari will be happy again though. Benatia gets his toe in.
Good shape defensively, Cagliari now. They've slowed that Juventus counter-attack down, making them play in front of them. Juventus a little bit ponderous in possession at times.
Feared the worst when they did concede. And a penalty shout, not given, as Pjanic clips the legs of the veteran fullback Dario Schöne.
That's experience from Dario Schöne there. He knew he'd lost control of the ball.
Really interesting interview of him before the game. Back at the highest level. Pavoletti wins another corner.
See, he wants to get down the sides, get the ball into his body. He's very good at holding it up. Eddie Benatia's not enjoying that confrontation at the moment.
There's nothing particularly cute about the tactics of winning a set piece and then sending the big boys up, but it is mightily effective for Cagliari. Has been a lot in Serie A this season. Again, it's going to be João Pedro, who's pretty tall himself, but he takes the set pieces. The referee, well, there's the least surprising thing tonight, calls over Pavoletti and Benatia. Good luck officiating this one. All sorts going on. Flicked on towards Pavoletti. Ronaldo is back. Does his defending. Unitsa. Schöne's pass was not good. Bentancur. Blatant from Filip Bradaric. as clear a yellow card as you will ever see.
That's a good foul, though. If you're Orlando Moran, that's an excellent foul. That's what you're expecting from your defensive midfielder. Had to stop that counter-attack.
Spoken like a true centre-half.
Absolutely. Really poor from Dario Schöner. And Bentancur's away here. Surprised Pisacane didn't foul him. Bradaric made sure he did.
That's 0-0. In the 80th minute, Juve might be a bit more upset about it, but Bentancur was happy just to shake the hand of his opposing player, Bradaric, who went to the World Cup with Croatia. Played once on their incredible run to the final. Still Paulo Dybala's goal inside a minute separates these two sides.
It's kind of been similar to the Genoa game, hasn't it, from Juventus in terms of the performance. They got a goal fairly early on, look comfortable, look as though they're going to be capable of going on and scoring more, and then the intensity just drops a bit and they go through the motions a little bit.
They were caught out in that game.
They were, and you just wonder how crucial that second goal is. They've won the last 23 times they've scored 2 goals in a game. So if they can get that second goal, Cagliari aren't coming back into this.
Ronaldo trying to create the chance for that. Lovely pass for De Chilio. Really sore against Empoli. His importance, I mean, sounds obvious, but he really dug Juve out of a hole. Penalty and then a goal that only Ronaldo would have scored, really. And suddenly they're not losing, they're not drawing, they're winning games. It's De Chilio. This time Juve win themselves a corner.
He did well there, De Chilio, didn't he? Played at fullback on both sides for AC Milan at times. More comfortable on the right, but was confident enough to go down the outside on his left foot there.
Strange not seeing Alexandro play at left back. He's played more than almost anyone for Juve this season. Pjanic is going to take this corner kick. Well, flicked on by a Cagliari player. That could have gone anywhere.
It's good delivery, isn't it? You're not worried about who flicks it on there. Pjanic is just hoping that someone flicks it on.
Dybala from the other side. How about that for 2 set-piece corner takers?
Pjanic is the key man, though, isn't he? He's the one that's been designated to take them.
Ronaldo menacingly in the penalty area. Bonucci closest to getting on the end of it. João Cancelo, Bentancur. Now Pjanic. Again, Cranio elects to punch.
It's a better punch this time, though. More distance on it.
João Cancelo. Benatia heads it over. It'll be a goal kick.
Lovely floated ball to the back post from Cancelo. Bentancur picks out Pjanic, who just tries to float it towards Benatia at the back post. Cranio does really well. Good strong fist on it. Positive goalkeeping.
10 minutes to go until half-time. There'll be a couple of minutes added on, though. We had the VAR review for the Cagliari penalty not given and for the offside for the goal. Bentancur bursts forward.
Just got away from him there, Bentancur, didn't he? Just as he looked as though he was about to set Ronaldo free.
Getting more and more minutes in Serie A. Started and really excelled in the Champions League at Old Trafford.
He has. He's certainly benefited from Khedira's injury, hasn't he?
Barella. Back to Schöner. Now Barella again. Cagliari threatening once more. Here's Schöner. 4 to aim for. João Pedro opens up. Cagliari level. No more than they deserve. Szczesny beaten. 1-1.
Brilliant finish from João Pedro, it really is, but I wonder whether he's offside. There was a big deflection on it, and he looked beyond the defence, whether he was actually onside when the ball was played, but stunned silence in the stadium. He's onside, it flicks off the head of Calcio. It's a wonderful touch and turn, it really is, to get away from Cancelo. One touch through the legs of Cancelo, cuts it back. So difficult for Szczesny to change direction, fires it in low and hard at the near post. It's a brilliant, brilliant goal by João Pedro.
Third of the season. Bologna, AC Milan, and now the biggest of them all, Juventus. Pegged back at home. Dybala feeds all out to that far side and gets it back. João Cancelo. It's a good-looking ball, headed away just in time. It's Pavoletti. Barella did well. Give them huge credit for the way they've come back from that early goal. Szczesny just about got his measurements correct there.
You'd have to say, on balance of play, since the goal, they've deserved to get back into the game. 1-0's probably a fair scoreline.
2 attempts apiece on target. And the penalty shout. Douglas Costa, own goal. Disaster for Cagliari. Just got back level, and in the blink of an eye, Orlando Marin's side fall behind yet again.
It's an own goal, isn't it, by Bradaric? Picks up a really good position actually at the near post. He's a little unfortunate. Just needs a call from behind him from Pisacane to leave it. There's no one there. There's no one going to score. Just needs a call. Doesn't get a call, so tries to cut the cross out. Very unfortunate to put it past Cranio at the near post, but if Pisacane just opens his mouth and tells him to leave it, it's really poor defensively, just as they get themselves back level, to concede a goal like that.
Bradovic through his own net, and they were level for 2 minutes. Fabulous first half if you're a neutral. João Pedro, feel for him after that terrific solo goal. They've shown real resilience once, Cagliari, tonight.
Juventus crucially have got that second goal.
Lovely back heel. Unitza. Far too much on it. Dario Schöner. Well, maybe 10 years ago he might have kept it in play. Try and put that to the back of his mind, Bradovic. He has of course been booked as well. And now Juve suddenly click through the gears. João Cancelo, Matuidi to aim for, stood up towards Ronaldo. Absolute panic stations at the back there. Cagliari get it away.
Brilliant play once again from Cancelo.
Terrific entertainment in this first half. It might not yet be done. Ronaldo, Calcio. That time Bradovic did his job very well. Calls for handball.
Could easily be given that, I think. Be interesting to see that one again. Certainly looked to lean towards the ball. I'm sure VAR will be looking at that while this is going on.
This really could be a nightmare couple of minutes for Cagliari and their defensive midfielder. Be next time the ball goes out of play that we'll really know. Does leave everyone in suspense.
Just wonder whether it is worth Juventus just kicking it out of play and just seeing if it was a penalty.
What happens if they scored now? Score the goal and then get the penalty?
I don't think anyone knows.
Does create some strange atmospheres at times, because now everyone's thinking what happens, and the referee is going to go and have a look.
Yep. It's amazing it's taken this long. If I was Juventus, I'd have just kicked the ball straight out. For me, it's handball. It's definitely handball. Has to be a penalty.
More clear cut than the one they didn't give at the other end.
Absolutely, certainly. So it's deliberate, because he moves his arm towards the ball. It hits him on the bicep. Certainly a penalty for me.
He's had a disaster of a couple of minutes. Own goal, and now Filip Bradaric surely has given away a penalty.
I can't see how this will not be given. I really don't. I know we don't get an angle from the other side. He's not giving it. That's your arm. He's touching where that's a handball. That's a absolutely ridiculous decision. He's seen it again. It's certainly handball. That's part of your arm.
It's extraordinary.
Cannot believe that he has not given that as a penalty.
Let off for Cagliari, to say the least. Another talking point from a fascinating first 45. I wasn't that good at biology, but I'm fairly sure that where the referee pointed to, as you said, is part of the arm, and he definitely used it to control it.
Absolutely, it was certainly a deliberate movement towards the ball.
On we go, and there should be maybe 3-4 minutes of added on time. We've had 3 VAR interventions now. Juve perhaps with a sense of injustice. Now Pjanic needs to be careful here. He doesn't want to get sent off, having just scored the own goal and probably conceded a penalty.
They've got 2 defensive midfielders on the bench. That's handball. It's certainly handball. He reaches out. Every time I see it from that angle, particularly, I think if the referee sees that angle, he has no option but to give handball. I'm bewildered by that decision.
You're not the only one inside the Allianz Stadium. Here is Bentancur. Not the best effort.
He's capable of more than that, isn't he? But Filip Bradaric has had a pretty poor first half, and you feel that with 2 experienced defensive midfielders on the bench in Cigarini and Desena, that maybe he may be sacrificed at half-time.
Yeah, both came on in their last game against Chievo to see a game out. Another very ambitious effort, and that will go out of play for a goal kick. Otherwise, we would have had 2 efforts in the space of a minute, which went out for a corner. 4 minutes of added on time. Join the debate on Twitter at 11sports_UK. Should it have been a penalty? We heard the words of Chris Perry, vastly experienced centre-back, and even you were saying it was a spot kick. I mean,
if I'd have done that, I'd have been shocked if it wasn't given as a penalty.
They wouldn't deserve to be 3-1 down, Cagliari, but they are very fortunate they're not facing a spot kick for that. João Pedro's goal got them back on terms.
It's been an excellent first half, hasn't it? Really has. Very competitive game. Cagliari just about still in it.
Schöner took just a bit of a gamble, but they've really pinged the ball around tonight, Cagliari. They played it pretty expansively. I always think it's the way to come here. When you see teams sit off Juve, inevitably they eventually concede anyway. So why not give it a go? I don't think he's going to give that handball if he didn't give the penalty.
He's just decided he's not going to give anything that hits anyone on the arm tonight, I think.
It was Filip Radaric who was calling for it as well. It's Benatia. Bonucci. Not sure how much he meant that pass to Dybala, but Douglas Costa can roam forward. And Juve have black and white shirts everywhere, including Ronaldo. Ronaldo! Hits the post.
Post is still vibrating from that one. Brilliantly worked out to the left-hand side by Douglas Costa. Boy, did he rattle the post with that. What a strike with his left foot.
Well, he's scored 7 times. Could easily this season have had another 7 or 8, quite frankly. Pretty unlucky. Only 70% of the ball, Juve. Cagliari are desperate for half-time now to go in just 1-0 down. One more minute of allotted time. As Barella put his head where it might have hurt. Again, they try and play their way out of trouble. And once more, Pavoletti, great centre-forward play, as this was from Ronaldo.
Just gets it out of his feet, shifts it onto his left foot, hits it as hard as he can, trying to squeeze it in at the near post. Rebounds back off the post. Cragno was beaten.
You said that post reverberated around. One more chance for Cagliari, maybe. Schöner. Pavoletti nicks it back. Now Barella. Straight into Szczesny's arms. The final act of an absorbing opening half in Turin. Maurizio Mariani, a very, very busy man. Paulo Dybala giving Juve the lead inside a minute. João Pedro equalising. Then Bradovic with an own goal. Half-time. Juve 2, Cagliari 1. Do not go anywhere.